What's up guys, Justin here with TheSketchUpEssentials.com. So in today's video, we're going to check out the newest version of DoubleCut, MindSight Studio's excellent hole cutting extension for SketchUp. Let's go ahead and just jump into it. All right, so DoubleCut is a tool that solves the problem of needing to cut through grouped walls or multiple grouped objects to create openings in SketchUp. And so this is an excellent tool to couple with either Profile Builder or any kind of dynamic windows or openings or other things like that. And so you can find it by visiting TheSketchUpEssentials.com/doublecut. Note that is an affiliate link, but you can find it and you can download it and bring it into SketchUp and use it to set up openings inside of the program. So let's jump over into SketchUp and take a look at the way that it works. All right, so the way DoubleCut works in general is right now, this is a profile that I created with Profile Builder, but it could be any wall that you might generate, right? This is made up of different stud components, insulation components, top rails, bottom rails, all sorts of stuff. And so if I wanted to add like a door opening in here, right, I would have to double click in here and then like double click into multiple different groups and then push pull across one group and then another group, and it gets really nasty really fast, right, in order to cut an opening. And so what DoubleCut does is it's designed to create openings inside of walls. So for example, if I was to just create a simple cutting component, which is something that's built into DoubleCut, and click, I want to make sure I'm out of this group before I do this. Notice that this is actually going to cut an opening in this wall right here. Now the cool thing about this, and this is just the simple cutting component, we'll talk about custom ones in a second, but the cool thing about this is I can adjust this, right? I can scale it, so I can scale the size of the cutting component. I can also move it around inside of the wall. So if I select this object right here, it's going to update that opening based on where I place this. Now, one of the things I really like about this is they've fixed it now where if I take this object like this and I cut across the bottom like this, it's going to remove material at the bottom right here, and I'm not going to have any kind of leftover geometry or anything like that. And note that you can have multiple different cutting components in your objects as well. Those all stay live, so not really a big deal if you have multiple different openings or anything like that, right? Note if I move this right here, the other objects are not going to be affected. And so now let's talk a little bit about the grouping of the objects and how they affect these things. So as of right now, if we look at this, I've got a wall and it's got a brick group, it's got an insulation group, it's got a CMU group, and it's got a gypboard group on the inside right here, which you'd probably have more, but that's fine. Okay, so right now, if I was to try to place an opening in this wall, right, it's going to cut across one object. And the reason why is because within this group right here, these aren't grouped together, right? They're separate objects. And so this is only cutting across one object. However, if you look at this right here, I've grouped my walls, my insulation, my block, and my gyp all together. Well, now, if I place this cutting object in the wall, it's going to cut an opening through everything that's inside of the group that I've placed it on top of. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second because there are some things you need to be aware of, so make sure you stick around for that because it's going to be really important. But one thing about this is within DoubleCut, you can take an object, right click on it and go down to DoubleCut. Notice how there's options in here for things like your max cut depth and your forward cut depth. Okay, and so if we take this object, right, we look at it and we set our max cut depth, you want to pay attention to that because your max cut depth needs to be set to something that works for your wall, right? So if I was to set this to maybe 8 inches or something like that, notice how it's only going to cut 8 inches in from where this object is. So if this isn't cutting far enough, then what you can do is you can adjust that max cut depth. Okay, and so that's important because say that you had a wall like this one, right? And you wouldn't actually build a wall like this, but that's fine. So I've got this object and I've created this in this group right here. Well, if I was to create this cutting object and this was set to be too deep, right? So say our max cut depth was like 12 feet or something like that. right? Notice what it's going to do is it's going to cut all the way across both objects, because what it's doing is it's figuring out a depth inside of SketchUp and cutting that far, and everything that it touches, it's going to cut. So when you come in here and you make this adjustment, you want to make sure that you set that max cut depth to something that's only really like the thickness of your wall, right? So this might be like an 18-inch assembly or something like that. I didn't actually measure it, but notice how now I'm not getting that doubled up version in here, so you can set that max cut depth in here just like this. And so now let's talk about creating a custom cutting shape. So let's say in this situation, we want to create a cutting shape that looks something like this, right? But it's got like a custom arc at the top of it. So what I've done is I've come in here and I've drawn just the shape that I want to use as the cutting component. Okay, so we've got this shape in here, right? And what we want to do is we want to create a cut with it. Well, inside of DoubleCut, what we want to do is we want to first off delete this shape, and we just want to keep these edges. So these edges are going to be in here, and it's going to use the actual edges to cut our opening. But what we do is we take those edges, right click, and we make them a component. And in this case, I'm going to call this opening or arch opening cutter. Now, what is vital when you are working with DoubleCut is setting up the glue to and component axes, because what this is going to do is it's going to use that glue to functionality that's built into SketchUp, right? Which is basically where an object finds a face and sticks to it. You want to make sure though that you've got this set to cut an opening, and with DoubleCut active, anything that's set to cut an opening, it's going to double cut with it. But you also need to make sure that your component axes are facing in the proper direction. So when you do DoubleCut, what this is going to do is it's going to cut in the blue direction. So what that means is that you need to set your component axes right here, and you need to make sure that that blue direction is set to be facing towards your object. So we're going to click right here, and then we're going to stand this up right here. Notice how you can see this cutting plane kind of stood up, but what you want is you want this object to be pointing the blue axis in the direction you want to cut. Then you want to click on create. So now when you do this, what this has done is this has created this cutting component. And so usually your best bet is going to be to go into the components section of your tray and actually import this way. It's going to be the cleanest way. So we want to find the arch opening cutter right here. We're going to mouse over this face. We're going to click, and notice what this is going to do is this is going to automatically cut using that shape. And so notice if we were to come back to this object right here, it's going to cut on any object that we drop this on, right? So if we come over here, drop it on this face right here, it's still going to cut that opening like this. So you can now drop that cutting object anywhere you want inside of SketchUp on a face, and it's going to cut an opening. All right, so now let's talk about how we might tie that to a component in SketchUp. And so we can go ahead and we can bring in just a door component. So I'm just going to type in door right here, and we can bring in one of these live components. That's going to be fine. So we're going to bring a live component in like this, and I'm just going to place it in my model. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to draw on top of this object. We're going to create a cutting object, and then we're going to put these in a group together. What that means is that when you come in here and you make the live component changes, right? So I'm going to reconnect to the server right here. I still don't know why those have to be linked to a server, but here we are. We're going to go ahead and we're going to open this door up. Right, so we've got this door open. Well, now we need to add the cutting object on top of here. So to do that, we're just going to draw the plane right here. We're going to do that same thing that we already did, where we're going to make this an opening cutter. So we're going to call this live component opening cutter. You can call it whatever you want. We're going to set glue to any, set it to cut opening, or we're going to set the component axes like this. I'm going to do the same thing where I stand it up like this, and we're going to click on create. Now, we're going to go in here and we're going to delete out that opening right here. But if we go find live component opening cutter, right? It's going to do what it's supposed to do. It's going to be placed on that face right here. Well, and so now what you need to do is take these two objects, and this is where I got hung up multiple times. You need to take these two objects, you need to put them in a component, right? So you've got your live component and you've got your cutting object right here. Right click and click on make component. We're just going to call this live door with opening cutter. Now, when you do this, you need to make sure that you set this overall component to glue to any. You need to make sure that you set it to a cut opening, and you need to make sure that you set the component axes so it's facing the proper direction. And so I will tell you that the most frustrating part of this is getting the axes facing the right direction when you do this, right? Because you've got this whole thing in here and it'll bring your doors in sideways, all of that. So in this case, right, what you want is all right, so we're gonna set this up. You want the blue direction facing the direction you wanna cut. You actually want the green axis facing up. So like this, we're gonna click on create. We're gonna bring this door in. And even here, we've got it a little bit wrong because you actually want your blue facing the other direction. So we're gonna go ahead and click. Again, we're gonna set it so the blue's facing out, but again, you want the green up and you're good to go. So now if we bring this door in, it's going to sit on that surface right here, and it's got that cutting object inside of the wall that's going to continue to cut the openings. And so as a general rule, anytime you bring these in, you want to go ahead and you want to drop them in as a new object out of the component browser. And so you can do this with dynamic components, you can do it with live components. One thing about this though, that I'm not the world's biggest fan of, is I can double click into this object, right? That's got the cutter and it's got the live component, and I can adjust the live component. So for example, like I can adjust the door, other things like that. I can adjust the panel color. However, if you come in here and you adjust the width, right, you make it wider like this. So if I make it 98 centimeters like this, notice how the other object is not going to adjust with it. Now you can come in here, click on that line, and you can kind of adjust it over like this in order to adjust the cutter. That's definitely a possibility, but things can get a little bit weird when you do that. So if you do that, first off, you want to take this object, you want to make sure you click on the option for refresh cut, and it's going to adjust the cut right here. However, if you notice how these other openings, you're gonna have to refresh them separately. So you can adjust that if you want to. You can also set these door opening cutters so that they're hidden, right? Because they're inside of these doors, so you can still see these edges in here. But if you just take your, actually you could just triple click in here and you could just hide all of the edges associated with that, right? So now that object is inside of this opening cutter, but you can't see it. So a couple things to think about here though is, for example, if we were to cut an opening inside of this wall right here, we're just going to use a simple cutter. So this is a wall that has a bunch of individual objects inside of it, right? As of right now, if I drop a cutter on top of this, like this, so it's going to come in here and it's going to cut those objects. But if I move this, notice how the objects that were like partially inside of this, it acts a little bit weird. So what happens is they don't actually recover their geometry. So if I move this over like this, notice how I start getting some weird leftover geometry in here, things like this. So if you have objects that go like fully inside of the cutting object, you might get some weird results. And so the best way to work with that is if you take this object and you need to make adjustments, instead of trying to adjust the object like this, because notice how you're getting this extra geometry and you're just like breaking your model, you just want to like undo it completely right here. Now, if you do have a situation like this one, I would recommend probably creating a copy of it first. Like there's definitely places where this could be useful, but if you break this geometry, you could have a lot of like remodeling to do. So do be careful anytime you've got stuff that's like fully inside of this cutting object or partially inside of this cutting object like this, like nested objects, because that can get a little bit odd. One other thing to consider is, say that you've got a model like this one that's got like a sofa, and you've got a floor group, a wall group, and the sofa group, and they're all inside of a group. Well, if you were to take this wall cutter right here and cut across this object, well, notice how the problem you're going to run into is it's going to cut that sofa too, which is definitely not what you want. So if you do have a situation like this, don't place the cutting objects in the top level. Go ahead and double click inside of this object and then place it on the outside of an object like this one, because then it's not going to cut the other stuff. So just be aware that this will cut multiple objects like this. Be a little bit careful with that. All right, so that's where I'm in this video. This extension does work really well for cutting openings in walls and things like that. Definitely worth checking out from that standpoint. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this extension. I just love having that conversation with you guys. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.